fought for abstinence education in our schools. And I defended the right of the Catholic Church to serve the community in ways that were consistent with their conscience through adoption programs that placed children in a home with a mom and a dad. My state was a leading indicator of what liberals would be trying to do across the country. They're trying to do right now. And I fought against long odds in a deep blue state. But I was a severely conservative Republican governor. I understand that the battles we as conservatives must fight because I have been on the front lines and expect to be on those front lines again. Now here at CPAC, I know you guys understand that. This gathering's always welcomed me, and you've consistently supported me, not because of my rhetoric, but because of my record and my experience in that deep blue state. Now over the course of this conference, several candidates have either already spoken or will be speaking, and they'll be seeking your support to lead our country and to help us out of these troubled times. What distinguishes us from one another is not our opposition to President Obama, or even our support of conservative convictions. What distinguishes us is the nature of our life's experience, our perspective, our judgment. This election will ultimately come down to two very different visions for America, but our more immediate choice will be between candidates of two very different backgrounds. I spent 25 years in business, started at the bottom, went on to help create a great American success story. I led an Olympics out of the shadows of scandal and was part of helping turn around a state that was crying for leadership. Now, of course, in each of these endeavors, I worked with a team of really skilled people, but I was, after all, the chief executive. And so success or failure was laid on my shoulders. And when tough decisions had to be made, I made them. Leadership as a chief executive isn't about getting a bill out of conference or giving a great speech. It's about setting clear goals, building a terrific team, overcoming constant adversity, and achieving results. It's about sharing credit when times are good and about taking responsibility when they're not. I happen to be the only candidate in this race, Republican or Democrat, who has never worked a day in Washington. I don't have old scores to settle or decades of cloakroom deals that I have to defend. Now, as conservatives, you've learned to be skeptical of this city and its politicians, and I think you're right. My wife and I raised 5 boys, and one of the lessons you learn as a parent is that when you hear an excuse that just doesn't make sense, it's because it just doesn't make sense. And let me tell you, any politician that tries to convince you that they hated Washington so much that they just couldn't leave, well, that's the same politician who'll try and sell you a bridge to nowhere. This is a moment when our country needs serious change and dramatic reform. So let me tell you exactly what kind of president I will be. To get America back on track and to get Americans back to work, we need bold and sweeping reforms. These aren't managerial issues of changing this department or that agency. To change Washington, we're going to have to change the very relationship between government and the citizen. And these are moral choices that will define our nation and define us for generations to come. Let me mention a few of them. Today, as you know, we borrow 40 cents of every dollar we spend. That's unconscionable. It's unsustainable. It's reckless. It's immoral. And it'll end under my presidency. I'll approach every spending decision, every budget item with these questions. Can we afford it? And if not, is it really worth borrowing money from China to pay for it? And on that basis, we're going to get rid of a lot of programs. And as president, I won't just slow the growth rate of government. I will actually cut the spending of government. And I won't just freeze government share as a percentage of the total economy. I will reduce government share as a percentage of the total economy. And without raising taxes or sacrificing America's critical military superiority, I will finally balance the American budget. And as I'm sure you know, that will start with the easiest cut of all. I will eliminate Obamacare. Let me mention a couple of other things I'll do. I'm going to dramatically reduce the size of the federal workforce. And for the first time ever, I'm going to tie the compensation and benefits of federal workers with workers in the private sector. The principle here is really simple, and that is public servants should not get a better deal than the citizens that are paying for them. As important as it is, cutting spending and bureaucracy alone are not going to be enough. In their current form, we're going to have to recognize that Social Security and Medicare are unsustainable, not for the current group of retirees, but for coming generations. And we can't afford to avoid these entitlement challenges any longer. I'm the only candidate for president who has offered a sweeping, specific plan to save Medicare and to reform Social Security. There are those who say you can't talk straight to the American people on these issues and still win an election. I say we can. We must. And I will. What I proposed are sensible and critical reforms. Under my plan, no one near retirement age or currently retired will see any of the changes I'm going to describe. But people in their 20s and 30s and 40s and early 50s are going to see some changes. And by the way, tax hikes, they're off the table. We're going to slowly and gradually raise the retirement age for Social Security, and we'll slow the growth rate in benefits for higher income retirees. And then when it comes to Medicare, tomorrow's seniors should have the freedom to choose between traditional Medicare and a range of private plans. And if these future seniors choose a more expensive plan, then they will have to pay the additional cost. Take a look at the Ryan plan. We're in the same page and the same verse on that. I know that this president and his liberal allies are going to attack me for where he's failed to lead. So be it. I'm going to stand and fight. We're going to win on this because so much depends on it. He's going to attack us with the usual fear tactics, but we're going to remind Americans that during this president's term, we have seen record high job losses and record home foreclosures. He will not be lecturing to us on values as a man whose ineptitude and failure has created so much unnecessary pain for our fellow Americans. Ours will not be the easy course, but it will be the right course. And I'm confident that Americans are yearning for a president who will tell them the truth and do what's needed, not just do what's expedient. And let me also be clear on this. My presidency will be a pro-life presidency. On day one, I will reinstate the Mexico City policy. I will cut off funding for the United Nations Population Fund, which supports China's barbaric one-child policy. I'll ensure that organizations like Planned Parenthood get no more federal support. And I will reverse every single Obama regulation that attacks our religious liberty and threatens innocent life in this country. You know this, of course. The presidency is more than public office. It's a sacred trust. As president, I will honor that trust by assuring that America remains the greatest military power on the face of the earth. I will not be cutting our military budget. This is very simple. If you don't want America to be the strongest nation on earth, I am not your president. You have that president today. This election is a defining moment for America and for the conservative movement. And make no mistake, we have an opportunity for greatness. But with that opportunity comes defining responsibility as well. We can't use this election to refight past battles and reward our friends. I know that fundamental change this moment demands that we take fresh, bold, conservative leadership with real-world solutions based on real-world experience. I will come to Washington, and with your help and guidance and prayers, I will change Washington. And then I will leave Washington and go back home to my family and my community that I love. I believe this is a moment that demands that we return to our basic values and first principles. That's who we are as conservatives. We believe in the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence. We believe in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We know the brilliance that suggested that individuals pursuing their own dreams would make us the most powerful nation on earth, not a government trying to guide our lives. This is who we are. This passion we must take to the American people. This is our moment. This is why we're conservatives. The task before us now is to reaffirm the convictions that unite us and go forward shoulder to shoulder to secure the victory that America so desperately needs and deserves. Let's do it together. Thank you, and God bless America. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, you guys.